Hi, congratulations, you just bought yourself a house. This is Becky Arnold, and I'm with Sierra Sotheby's International in Tahoe City. We just went through the process of locating that perfect home, and we're gonna start what we call escrow. Escrow is a neutral third party that will hold all the funds and documents until both parties have met all the conditions of the sale. First, we'll ensure that the purchase agreement is submitted to the title company, and shortly after, you'll receive an email from the title company that includes questions about yourself and the sale. For buyers, this might also include a question on how you may want to take title with or without the right of survivorship for partners, or possibly hold it in a trust. For sellers, they will also ask about any loans on the property that will need to be paid off, and we'll ask for a copy of your most recent statement and contact information for your lender. Next, the title company will send instructions to the buyer for sending their earnest money deposit. Typically in California, this will be equal to 3% of the purchase price. However, the title company will review the amount for you, or you can look on page 1 of the residential purchase agreement. In one of the boxes, it will highlight the amount that is due. This deposit shows the buyer's commitment and is protected by specific contingencies such as inspections, appraisal, and loan approval. Once the escrow account is open, you'll need to wire your earnest money deposit. It's crucial to verify the wiring instructions directly with the title company to avoid any potential fraud. Once the funds are received, we'll move forward with the next steps of the process, such as scheduling inspections and reviewing the title report. A title report is a comprehensive document prepared by the title company detailing the legal status of the property. It includes the property's ownership history, any encumbrances such as mortgages, liens, easements, and restrictions. This report ensures that the seller has a clear title to transfer to you to the buyer without any money owed. When reviewing the title report, it's essential to look for any issues like unpaid taxes, recorded claims, or undisclosed easements that could affect your ownership. If any issues arise, we'll work with the seller and the title company to address them before finalizing the purchase. Typically, in a title report, you'll see a list of exceptions. This is standard. The first few are usually for our taxing authorities to collect property taxes. The next few usually cover different topics such as the covenants, codes, and restrictions, which are the bundle of rights with the subdivision. And then again, there will be particular exceptions for your property. Those are the ones we want to pay the most attention to, but you will want to read through everything, and there will be links on that title report for you to read all of the documents that are attached. Next, we'll have an inspection period. The inspection period is your opportunity to thoroughly evaluate the property. During this time, you can hire professionals to inspect for structural issues, pests, and environmental hazards. Additionally, it's a good idea to obtain fire insurance to cover any potential risks. Based on the inspection results, you can request repairs or credits from the seller. The seller can agree, counter you, or refuse the request in their entirety. But we will negotiate to find the best solution for you, and once satisfied, we will proceed by removing the contingencies in writing. At this stage, once you remove your contingencies, you will want to start transferring utilities. You will need to contact the water, electricity, and internet providers to schedule transfers and obtain a meter read to prevent any service disruptions. Each area is specific in Tahoe, and we have certain entities that will only provide internet service or other services for certain geographical areas. So the transaction coordinator and myself on the team will make sure that you have a list of the pertinent utility companies for where you are purchasing your house. If you have not already, during the inspection period, you will want to obtain an insurance policy to cover the property. If you have a loan on the property, it is mandatory to provide insurance coverage for full replacement value. And even if you purchase the house with cash and no loan, most owners will want to obtain insurance to ensure they can rebuild in the event of a catastrophic event. In Lake Tahoe, most homeowners have a two-part fire insurance policy. Due to the high fire risk in Lake Tahoe and our surrounding forests, most of the big name insurance companies have pulled out of the area and will not cover properties. Thus, we find the need for a two-part insurance policy that covers both for a fire event as well as any other condition that may occur at the property. Your local insurance agent can provide a policy to cover the basics, water intrusion, flooding issues, contents insurance for your furnishings, and potentially loss of rents insurance or additional liability coverage if you are planning on renting out the property. Really lean on your insurance company to provide the information that you need to make the best decision about moving forward with insurance. Currently, the California FAIR Plan is a state-sponsored program that will provide a policy for fire incidents to ensure residents can get adequate coverage for their property. Again, please check with your local insurance agent or ask us for names and numbers for companies that can set up this two-plan policy in the area. Now, a quick pro tip that I'm just going to share. I don't recommend any one insurance company over another. However, for those of you that do have a direct family member that served in the U.S. military and was honorably discharged, you may qualify for USAA insurance. Now, I have not personally used this, but based on numerous clients that have called me back, they offer very competitive rates, great customer service, and they are one of the few companies that will actually provide an entire inclusive policy, and you may not need the California FAIR Plan. So if you do have the ability, you may want to research that. But again, please be prepared to talk with your insurance company about what they may be able to provide and whether you may or may not need California FAIR Plan. We're nearing the final stage of the escrow process. You'll receive the closing disclosure detailing the final figures you'll need for the transaction. Ensure to review the document thoroughly, and if everything looks correct, you'll proceed by sending the final wire transfer directly to the escrow company. It's also time to establish the new utility services. I know I went over this previously, but again, just want to make sure that we cover all of that so there's no interruption in service. Additionally, at least 5 days prior to closing, the buyer does have an opportunity to do a final walkthrough of the property. This walkthrough is designed to confirm the house is in the same relative condition as the date you entered escrow, as well as to confirm that any contractual repairs or cleanings were completed prior to the property transfer. Now, please keep in mind, this could be a very stressful time for sellers. They're trying to move, they're trying to pack up, and excited buyers just want to see their new house and maybe do some last minute measuring. However, please keep in mind, it is the buyer's right to do this walkthrough prior to close of escrow. So plan accordingly. If you have tenants in the house or you are living in the house, please know that we will have to set up this walkthrough and prepare for it. Lastly, if there is any moving debris, trash, hazardous waste, or old paint or stain in the property, all of these will need to be removed prior to the close of escrow. If you have not already removed these items during the pre-listing or escrow process, now is the time to be sure to get those items out. We do have a company that I use a lot. There's a lot of different people out there. I don't try to recommend one over the other, but 1-800-GOT-JUNK in Reno is a great resource. They will take away just about anything that you put out and move furniture for you. They will not take hazardous waste. So hazardous waste can include everything from paint, stain, old aerosol cans, and things like that. Now, none of the local haulers will actually get rid of hazardous waste for you. However, our local dump will dispose of those products for free. You do need to schedule an appointment, and the dump will take up to 15 gallons of hazardous waste in any one appointment. Again, you do need to schedule this appointment, so please plan accordingly as different times of year have different appointment schedules. For buyers, you will need to send your final wire or have your lender send the remaining funds to the title company. Again, to safeguard your money from the dark web, the title company will reach out to you directly to confirm the amount and the bank account wire instructions. For sellers, the title company will also confirm where you want the funds sent to you. Typically, this is also done in a wire. Now we have in our area what we call a morning and an afternoon recording. And depending upon the time of day that your property transfers and is recorded in the county records, you'll receive a final statement from the title company and a confirmation that the property has successfully transferred. Now again, if we have a late recording and it's a Friday or near a holiday, it may take a couple days to receive this final documentation, but it will be forthcoming. Now what happens next? Our office stays engaged for a few extra days to ensure that any remaining contractual tasks are completed. We want to make sure any final paperwork from the walkthrough is signed and is received by all of the parties. Once this paperwork is completed, my transaction coordinator or myself will send you a link to a cloud-based program that has copies of every single document that you have signed. If you'll have access to this file online, and if you're moving, there is no need to keep all the paperwork straight. We will actually follow up with the link to all of the documents so you can access it later at a later time for tax prep or to forward to your trust tax attorney or CPA. Now this is a brief overview, but I wanted to give you an idea of what to expect through the escrow process. On each step of the way, there will be a video or a phone call to explain it in more detail. But thank you for watching, and call anytime with any questions. We're here to help. Thank you.